good to be back home. So yesterday I reached capacity. I was over capacity. I'm an advocate for trans and queer people, and I literally use my body for advocacy. So I work as a forensic teaching assistant, and what that means is that I help train forensic nurses on how to collect evidence from a patient's body and history in a trauma-informed way. Additionally, I provide trauma-informed care perspective from the queer, trans, and non-binary or gender-expansive lens. So not only does this include the questions a nurse will ask, but also the physical exam from head to toe, and yes, including genitals. Lately, something that's been incorporated more is a chance to lead group discussions and considerations, especially for those who may not be present for the physical exams but still need to understand trans and non-binary perspectives. In the last 7 days, I've done 2 of these trips, but this post isn't about the trips because honestly, it's some of the most rewarding work I've ever done in my life. When we think about finding a life's purpose, for me, turning myself into a duchess and discovering this work, it's truly been life-changing. They both gave me a sense of purpose of how I can make a difference in my tiny corner of the world. Additionally, as we all know, I'm a board member for Out on Film, and I help lead the Industry Engagement Committee, including co-hosting our monthly Queer Film Alliance meetings, which are truly my heart. At Out on Film, we've really expanded to year-round programming to fulfill our mission to be queer all year, to make space, to make community. This again is one of those life purpose callings that make my life feel in complete alignment. I love the work we do. I love the impact we're making and the lives we're able to affect. For me, also too, being involved, it helps to lessen the sting of every rejection. Every grant, every audition, every film festival, every film fund, because I know that I'm helping the next round of filmmakers pursue their dreams. All of this work is public facing. A public appearance means allowing myself to be just as vulnerable as I am during the physical exams, so I can be of assistance to the public. Now, usually I have a system of self-care and practices in place that help me find balance. Doing the FTA work requires self-care afterwards, being able to release those emotions and the scenarios I'm portraying, very realistically, I might add. Sexual assault nurse examinations are long. Even in mock scenarios, they take up to 2 to 3 hours. It's an exam focused solely on the patient and helping guide them through what has been a horribly traumatic event. In the last 7 days, I've participated in 2 of these kind of trips, both with quite possibly some of the best teams ever. These nurses are real superheroes. They take the time and often their own money to get this training to help their communities. And God forbid anything happens to you, but if it does, request a same. Not just for SA, but also for DV, IPV, CA, for children, please find a child advocacy center for more specific support. Each training itself takes about 2 days, not to mention, the traveling to and from. There is a travel, there's a hotel stays, there's the dinners with coworkers, and in the last 7 days, 3 days specifically, I've helped out with 2 big Out on Film events, a screening of Heightened Scrutiny at Landmark Theater on Tuesday, and our local filmmaker showcase last night. Now, both of these events also bookended some of the training work that I was doing. In particular, Tuesday's screening focused on U.S. versus Scrimeti, an upcoming Supreme Court decision that affects healthcare access for every person in America. And that core question that case is fighting is, does the government have a final say over who can receive medical treatment? It's terrifying. In the middle of the screening, I had to get up and leave. Panic was beginning to set in because so much of my life is not about the abstract. It's about multiple laws, decisions, and actions affecting my life right now. From bills being passed in the House of Representatives to Supreme Court rulings to executive orders that deny funding to life-saving programs and initiatives. It's fucking maddening. Maddening how deeply our politics affect our daily lives, yet how little some people realize it. And we're not even going to get into the warmongering or the genocide. As overwhelming as the last 3 days have been, I have been blessed with the opportunity to hear the impact that I'm making. And that in itself is overwhelming and humbling and all of the other emotions. It's easier for me to focus on the work I'm doing if I don't think too much about the impact that it has, because if I do, then I spiral. Not in a bad way, just in like, oh my God, look at me doing things and affecting the world. It's terrifying. But in the last 3 days, I've heard multiple examples. After the heightened screening, someone approached me. Now, they looked familiar, and they said I wouldn't recognize them, but that they came into the print shop during the pandemic. I'd given them a roll of prints for free. Probably because it wasn't that much, and also because I could probably tell they were community and I wanted to do something kind on what was probably just a really shitty day for me. The I feel shitty, so let me make someone else's day better kind of moment. That person told me, seeing me so visibly trans in a space filled with typically cishet men with more than likely conservative leanings gave them hope and courage, and they started their own transition. And the story they shared had me and the others around in tears because we all saw it. The real life ripple effects of daily action. This beautiful person had shed some of their fears and took a step forward. And then yesterday, while leaving a training session, another nurse I'd worked with previously, who was retiring, pulled me aside as I was leaving. She told me how our conversation had made her feel more equipped to help a trans patient on what was quite possibly their worst day. Specifically, a trans male patient who had been assaulted. Part of what I teach nurses is this: being on testosterone or estrogen doesn't eliminate the ability to get pregnant or get someone pregnant. And that genitals can be incredibly dysphoric for some patients. Now, this particular patient, he wanted to believe those parts weren't there, but he was pregnant. And that nurse felt better prepared to help him, to understand his perspective, to get him the care he needed, and to act quickly too, so that he could begin to heal, because time really was of the essence. Hearing these real world stories is humbling and dizzying, because none of this would be possible if I stopped to really fully take in the weight of it. If I did, my perfectionism would probably collapse me. And last night at the screening, there were those moments where I could see the community in the room, see how many people showed up to support our filmmakers, and see our filmmakers show up as themselves. And in working with Io, Leo, Justice, Farrington, Alex, Amber, David, Josh, Jim, Sydney, Ed, John, and so many others, T, Terry, Abbott, oh my God, I'm gonna forget someone, Andy. It's like I'm thanking everyone at the awards, but in that room last night, I could see the impact this organization has had in just a short amount of time. We're helping filmmakers complete their projects, see their works on the big screen, connect with other filmmakers. There's a really deep sense of fulfillment in knowing I've been part of making such a difference. In spite of the horrors of the last 10 years, that I'm using my voice for good and helping make my community just a little bit better. I can't save the world as much as I want to, but I can help the people around me. And to me, that's what Pride Month is about. Yes, I'm tired. 2 work trips and 2 Pride events in 7 days is a lot, not to mention it's been probably 2 months of traveling and a month of Pride things. Listen to me closely, though. Pride isn't just a celebration. It's an affirmation of life and community. It's the one time of year where we say, if anything happens, these are the people who will help get us through it. It is a chance to connect, to find commonality, and to celebrate our unique differences. It's also a time to mourn the individual and collective traumas we've survived. Even at that heightened scrutiny screening, as heavy as it was, it became a rallying cry, a call to action. What can we do? The people in this room are our support. We have each other if things get worse than they are now. I have one more Pride event this month, and then I close out another Pride season. And I'm not scheduled to travel again for work until August, but we are cooking up some amazing things, both in the work that I do, both traveling and also here at home. So I'm looking forward to a well-deserved break, including a getaway with Eddie, to my favorite place lately, Jekyll Island, on the Georgia coast. So, If you don't see me for a second, that's probably why, but I have recorded some videos to keep us going while I take a much needed break from being in front of the camera and giving my scalp a chance to breathe from these wigs. But have a wonderful, celebratory, mournful, communal Pride Month. And I hope to see you all in August at some events, in September at the festival, and beyond. Please stay tuned for some very exciting upcoming things that I will keep updated on at least Instagram, if not my website.